Welcome to the day one recap of the BAM Pro-Am here on Potholes Reservoir. This is a fantastic start to our second stop of the Pacific Northwest Pro-Am division. And we're going to chat with our leaders on the Scholastic series, our co-angler leader, and our day one pro leader. And we're going to see what they did to have a fantastic day today. Our co-angler, our Scholastic leader had 8:15:32 today, so a fantastic bag, especially for an angler that's just getting into the sport, fishing his first pro-ams this year and learning at a pretty rapid rate. He's an Idaho angler that made the trip down to Washington, and it's Colton Newman. So give us a little bit of an introduction.
Um, I started fishing on that river. That's where I started it. And then started fishing with buddies and got really into it. And I was begging my dad for like a year or so to fish tournaments. And we got into Paya River and fished first year. It wasn't the best, but we learned quite a bit. And then fished this year. This year's really doing good for us. And I just wanted to start getting more into it. And I want to go to college and fish it and stuff. Been watching a lot of pros and fishing and just found out that's what I wanna do, and I love it.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on the right track. I mean, what grade are you in right now?
I'm a junior.
Oh, so you've got a year and a half to decide where you're going to
Yep.
school. Do you want to stay on the West Coast? Do you want to go back east? A
Um,
bit of, I guess, whatever seems like the best option.
Kinda wanna go down Texas.
Okay.
I can bear with that heat pretty well, and I like that fishing down there. It looks pretty cool and stuff.
Yeah, you need to talk to Ty Manarola. He graduated from Dallas Baptist. He's fishing in the Super 60 this year, and I think he's got more second place and high finishes than pretty much anyone else in the field for the start of the Pro Tour. And he's done a great job. The collegiate scene has a lot of fantastic anglers, and that's one thing we're really trying to promote. Being out here on the West Coast, we really don't see the 500 to 600 boat fields that they have on the East Coast, but we have that same caliber of angler. And talk a little bit about your pro today, and I guess just caliber of anglers in general in this tournament.
My pro today, he did pretty good. Like, we were moving spots pretty fast, jumping everywhere because we noticed they weren't all bunched up. They were pretty open, and they were spread it out pretty hard. But this morning kicked my butt a little bit. I didn't get much in, didn't think I'd get a limit going. And then I kinda started switching things out, getting going, and next thing you know, that bite started hitting for me and figured it out. My pro and I were having a good time. My pro was struggling a bit, losing a bunch of fish, but we kept our heads down and kept fishing and taking that heat and as much as possible and try to keep going.
Yeah, and did you fish pretty clean then?
I fished pretty clean. I didn't lose any. Um, I don't think I lost any bites, none of that stuff. Flipping was perfect, hitting every spot I wanted to, hitting pretty good holes, hit it everything I wanted, didn't miss a spot.
Cool.
Yeah, I fished really good today.
And do you already have a boat that you're kind of running for the high school tournaments you're fishing right now, or are you just fishing as a co-angler at the moment?
Just fishing as a co-angler for right now. But yeah, just
Cool.
co-angler. I'm gonna keep following you guys and keep fishing it.
I mean, for $100, being able to learn, fish, and be a part of it's a pretty cool deal, though, right?
Right, I love it. It's a good youth
Yeah.
high school program. I mean, there's not a lot of clubs out there that can do this for these guys, and it does mean a lot to all of us. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully we get bigger numbers. We had 10 high school and college anglers at this event. We cap it at 15, so there's a little bit room for growth, but we also want to make sure our co-anglers have a good experience and a good payout as well. But still, I mean, $500 for first if you win this
mhm.
tournament isn't bad. You can buy a few more rods, more baits, maybe go get some stuff off Tackle Warehouse. But talking about baits, give us a little bit of a rundown. Were you throwing reaction, finesse, a little bit of ball?
So it was a lot more flipping than anything. I was kind of jumping around. Started out with a tube, slower reaction, and then noticed they started wanting those craws and stuff because I was checking on one of my fish and he spit up a big old crawdad. So I'm like, all right, I'll throw some of the craw. Toss the craws out there and they just loved it. Couple on the frog. I had a big blow up on my frog. He shot that thing 2 feet up in the air,
Wow.
blew it up and shot away up in the air. I only got two fish on it. They kept missing it pretty bad, but a lot of flipping for us.
Okay, and I mean, when you're flipping a tube, are you throwing like a 3.5 inch double dip tube, or what's the color?
Um,
What creature bait were you throwing?
my favorite tube is it's black and it's got green in it. And I Texas rig it with a 3/8 tungsten weight.
Well,
And then my creature bait, I did two. I pegged one and then I didn't peg one. And they kind of seem to like that non-peg. They like that free fall a little more. And That one was like, what was that one? Just real sparkly blue, and then it had green pumpkin on the back.
Cool. So, talk a little bit about how you learned and, I guess got to the point where you're at now. Does your dad fish? Do you have friends that fish? Or yeah, who brought you here?
So my boss actually brought me up. His son and I fish all the time. We go together all the time. We're everywhere on it. But my dad, I kind of taught him how to fish, but I got taught by my good buddy from high school. He's a really good fisherman. He's going to Kentucky right now to fish a high school tournament. So him and his dad put a lot of time in with me, and that's where I really learned. Flipping's not my strong suit. We don't have a lot of flipping opportunities in Idaho, so coming over here and learning flipping
Yeah.
is a challenge for us.
So does that mean you're a smallmouth guy then?
Oh yeah, love my smallmouth.
So you should come to the Columbia River.
So
You're gonna try and do that one, or
I want to. I got to talk to my dad about it now,
okay.
since if I can hold my first place, I got a good opportunity going for me. But we have a tournament for our club, and my dad's deal was we go fish his club tournaments first. But
Hey, that's fair. I mean, even if you got to jump into a couple of these ones, did you fish Moses Lake?
I did.
Oh, okay. So
Good.
you're already two in a row, and
Yep.
you take the lead on this one, then you got a good shot at AOY, and
Hmm.
maybe you can convince your dad a little bit. But either way, the scholastic side is pretty cool. I know you want to go back east, but if you change your mind, a $100,000 scholarship could be a good opportunity for you.
Right.
So yeah, talk a little bit about what your plan is tomorrow. Do you feel pretty confident still? And
Yeah.
yeah, what are you going to change up?
Pretty confident in it. Probably gonna tie the same flipping tubes on and stuff, flipping baits. Probably a little more topwater action. I'm gonna look up some videos on what about to do with those fish are missing your frogs pretty well if you cut the skirts or upgrade it or downsize it, whatever you do. So I'm gonna do some research on that. I'm not a big frog guy, so all this stuff is new to me.
And are you fishing pretty thick cover to where you can't throw a treble hook bait, and that's where the fish are in, or what are they staging on right now?
I noticed on the outside of that grass. So you got your grass just barely sitting on that outside for me. I didn't have to go real far in it. I mean, it wasn't crazy thick. I mean, we found some nasty crap that didn't look good. They were in there.
Cool.
And so just right on that outside, didn't have to flip too far in there, which is pretty nice for me.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like you have a game plan. Are you going to aim for another 15-pound bag or whatever bites?
I'm going to try going over 15. I'm going to go for it all now. I'm there, so might as well keep going.
Hey, you can't lose it or you can't win it on the first day, but you can definitely lose it and being first place going out tomorrow. Do you have your draw already or?
I don't. I
Okay.
haven't got that text.
Well, I guess in a little while you'll know who you're with. But I mean, yeah, from Moses Lake to here, what's the biggest thing you've learned fishing as a co-angler now?
Man, it's different fishing in that back for
Okay.
sure. I'm used to up to that front, but it's different techniques over here. Like the way these fish act, they don't really hit hard over here that much. For us, they pound your baits, but like they pick it up and or they're just holding on to it, or they shake their heads way harder over here. They're way more aggressive largemouth.
Cool. So it sounds like you're learning a little bit, and if nothing else, you're going to learn how to fish a little more productively when you're fishing out of the back of the boat. You've got to do things a little bit differently.
Yep.
But yeah, talk where if we can we find you on social media? How can people get in touch with you if they're a college coach looking to recruit you? And
My Instagram, it's just my name, and I really Instagram's my big thing. I follow a lot of college schools and stuff, so
all right, so if you're watching, get this guy on your roster. It sounds like he's on the right track. He's still got a year and a half to go, but that doesn't mean you can't get a campus visit put in. And he's definitely learning a lot on the right track, and I think he's going to be a real competition in the next couple years. So we just learned from a co-angler that just started this season fishing in these pro-am events. And now, if you guys stay tuned, we're going to pull in one of these seasoned pros that's been doing this for a real long time, taking a lot of money from pros in the back and the front of the boat. And we're going to talk to an angler that would actually be second place in the pro side if he was fishing from the front, because he had a 19-pound bag as a co-angler. So stay tuned because you definitely want to hear more. Thank you for your time, and good luck tomorrow.
yeah.
At Black Bear Diner, we believe a great meal should feel like a warm hug, like our Bear's Choice breakfast. Start with 2 farm-fresh eggs, cooked just the way you like. Choose from our one-of-a-kind sweet cream pancakes, homemade biscuits and gravy, or indulge in cinnamon roll French toast. Add your choice of thick cut smoked bacon or homemade sausage patties. That's a bear's choice. Your very own warm bear hug.
Good old-fashioned family food, Black Bear Diner.
Here at Bridgeford, we make all of our products with 100% American beef and pork. We source everything exclusively from the United States for our beef jerky, pepperoni, summer sausage, and salami.
We've always focused on having the highest quality products. We do that by investing in new cutting-edge technology while still trying to maintain the old world values that our great-grandfather instilled in us.
Being a family company, we like to think of a lot of our products as being for family occasions and get-togethers. We like to think of our products being made by our family for your family.
All right, hopefully you all stay tuned because we've got this guy that just had a stinger of a day out there. He had 1968 from the back of the boat, a fantastic day, and he had a fantastic angler to fish with. Cameron Black is one of the best pros, the best guides, and probably one of the best people you can find. And he gave you 5 of the right ones today. I don't know if that was purposeful or because he's got that guided instinct in him, but Adrian Ghione, tell us a little bit about what happened out there.
Well, the best thing that happened and the first thing that happened was drawing Cameron. The guy was awesome. I mean, he put me in front of the fish. All I had to do was set the hook. They were there. We were right on them. We really didn't move a lot. We kind of fish the same general area, kind of rotate around the same islands and the same ditches, I guess. Fishing sparse grass and some floated islands.
Cool. Awesome. So we heard a little bit about what our Scholastic Series angler did. We're not asking for spots because that's against the rules, but we can ask what you used today. So if you want to give us a little bit of an in-depth idea, both for the podcast purposes, because all our viewers definitely want to know, but also because we're going to be doing a write-up on you. So yeah, give us a little bit of a rundown of what you did today, what you targeted, and what you used.
We started the day, it was cloudy, it was a little bit low light, so we went for reaction. Started with a frog. Couldn't really get him going. I got maybe 3 blow-ups on the frog. Was able to stick one, it was like 4.1, 4.2. And then the frog bite died for me. I couldn't really get any more blow-ups or anything. I switched to a jig, started dragging a jig. Not too shallow, just kind of dragging it behind the boat, trying not to be in front of my pro. And they liked it.
Yeah.
They started hitting the little brush hog, and I stuck a 497, I think, something like that, on like the second cast on the jig, and a 3.5 on the cast after that. So it was pretty quick. It was about a stretch of an hour and 45 minutes. They were furious. They were on it.
And were you fishing one specific area that held multiple quality fish? Or I guess, how did it break down? Just finding the right structure in different spots?
It took us a bit to kind of figure out how far they were staging. Kind of try and error, try shallow, try deep, try the middle of the channel, try the top of the island. Once we found kind of the sweet spot, the depth where they were at, it was just drop it on top of their heads and hold on.
Cool. And what's your jig of choice? Is it a finesse jig, a football head?
No, it was just a little crow imitation, like a baby brush hog.
Cool.
On a flipping hook with a bullet weight in front of it.
Awesome.
Very simple.
Awesome. And talk a little bit about where you're from. You're a Northern California guy, right?
Yeah. We're in Oakdale. My brother and I got into the tournament fishing probably about 3 years ago. Started doing all those Wednesday nighters in the Delta, and decided to buy them a try. And we started this year. This is our 4th pro-am.
Cool.
And we're loving it.
Good. Well, we appreciate you coming out here and talking about the California Delta. That's probably the most relative fishery that you have compared to Potholes Reservoir in terms of the flip-in, punch-in, frog-in, stuff like that. Does that experience transfer over to the back of the boat this week?
For sure. A lot of the stuff that we used there, that we learned there, I was able to just get up on it. I didn't have to learn it. I already knew how to throw a frog. I already knew how to flip a bank of tulies. So it made it a little easier. So there was no adapting time. It's just comfortable. It's just something that we do all the time there. So
And how comfortable, I know you probably don't want to say it, but you also won practice. You say it's a 3-pounder scale, say you caught a 5.7 yesterday.
Yeah.
But did that give you a little bit of confidence going into day one, catching a good quality fish in practice?
For sure, for sure. Catching a big one on the frog yesterday, even though I was trying to shake it off, I didn't want to bring it up. Um, it helped a lot because if I had not had that practice, I would have probably put down the frog an hour before I did, and I would not caught that big fish.
Yeah.
Um, but sometimes everything lines up just right, and it works in your favor.
Yeah. And let's go talking about practice. You went to Moses Lake. I don't think you got to practice with anyone
Nope.
there. How much of a mindset change is it being able to make those connections to go out and practice with pros prior to the event starting versus going in blind?
I probably wouldn't go blind again.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a practice day, I'd probably skip it.
Really?
I mean, we did okay in Moses, but having practice, I narrowed. Like Moses, I was fishing with 6 rods, and I had my backpack to the brim. And I came here. I fished yesterday, a half a day on Wednesday, and I came out with 3 rods and 3 bags of baits, and that was set.
Cool. I mean, it sounds like you're keeping it real simple, which your pro probably loved, not taking up too much space. But yeah, I mean, talk a little bit about what your strategy is going into tomorrow, what your goal is for the season as a whole, and if you think you're on the right track to get to where you want to be by the end of 3 days.
In the right track, yeah. I mean, I got no complaints. I got a top 20 finish in Moses. We're okay here, at least for today. The goal for tomorrow, I gotta catch 5. Hopefully, draw somebody that I can fish behind that leaves some fish for me.
Yeah.
That is sort of in the right spots. I got confidence on the 2 or 3 techniques I was using.
Yeah.
I think they will work for the most part all over the lake.
Good.
I mean, unless somebody decides to go smallie fishing in Lake
Yeah.
Cooley or something.
Awesome. And what about this body of water was the biggest, I guess, change experience that you weren't expecting? How expansive it was, how it sets up. Is there anything in particular that stuck?
It really struck me, especially in practice, because I thought, I fish a lot of different bodies of water, and you kind of remember the areas, you remember something, that point, this bank or that bank. And here I was on the phone with somebody that wasn't fishing it, and I was trying to tell her what I was fishing, and I honestly, I can't remember. It was a dune, and it has some grass in front of it. It's very tricky. I mean, kudos to the pros that can remember all the spots and all the points and all the banks that the whole fish.
Yeah, and what about, I guess, no info rule, that kind of stuff? Is it a challenge when you are communicating with other competitors? I mean, it's kind of nice being able to find your brother fishing with you,
Yeah.
so you guys can connect on stuff. Not really sharing spots and things
Ah.
like that, but in general, is it good to have a good, I guess, support system in these tournaments?
For sure, for sure. I think being a co-angler, the spots really don't matter. You're gonna
Yeah.
go where your pro takes you,
Yeah.
for the most part. But having somebody to kind of like, hey, like talk about it, like, oh, it was hard, it was not easy,
Yeah.
and then you don't feel like you were doing something wrong when everybody kind of has the same experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely helps. I mean, for sure.
Awesome. Well, let's wrap it up with what your plans are, I guess, for tomorrow. If you're going to change anything up, if you're going to keep it simple, and I guess if you are on social media or anything like that, where guys can follow along with what you're doing.
Yeah, my Instagram is my name. It's at Adrian Ghione. And but yeah, the plan for tomorrow, I'm gonna stay simple. I might even leave 1 rod at the house and just take 2 or 3. That's it. I think I'm gonna keep it, a crowbait and
Yeah.
just the same old stuff. A little bit of flipping, a little bit of dragging, and of course a Senko. You always have to have a Senko.
That's true. Yeah, it goes a long way, and it's something I know I definitely keep. I took a kid out fishing. He actually won a free fishing trip at the BAM Pro-Am on the Delta, and I was able to take a 4th grader out fishing for the first time through a
That's
Senko. Great. So, well, on that topic, make sure you guys are out here at Boardman, because we're going to have another free kids fishing day that they can come out, connect with pros, and get more free fishing trips possibly. And we're also going to be having one at Lake Don Pedro later this year. So we appreciate your time. But you guys need to stay tuned as well because we're pulling in Chris Parks, who pulled in 21 pounds today, and he's on a hot streak. He's had a lot of success in the past, and he's probably one of the sly guys that we're going to learn a lot from in just a few minutes.
Summer is in full swing at Mardon Resort in sunny Central Washington. With hundreds of days of sunshine, swimming, fishing, mini golf, campfires, and more, you won't forget your stay at Mardon. Tailor your vacation to you. From lake houses to cabins to big RV spots, there's more than one way to experience Mardon. The Beach House Restaurant and our resort gift and tackle shop has everything you need for a great trip. Visit MardonResort.com for special events, the latest specials, and to reserve your destination vacation today.
Hey folks, pro bass fisherman Mark Lassane here. My garage was completely cluttered with outdoor gear, but then I discovered StoreQuest self-storage. Now check out my space. It's like my own personal oasis. All my fishing rods, my gear have a home away from home. With everything neatly organized, I can spend more time doing what I love. Thanks to my StoreQuest unit, I've decluttered my life and made room for adventure.
Thanks for waiting, and it's a good thing you did because now we're going to talk to our day one pro leader, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. When you hear a 21-pound bag on Potholes Reservoir and you hear a 6-pound fish anchoring it, it's a pretty good start to a 3-day tournament. Chris isn't out of the woods yet. He's still got some more work to do for the next 2 days, but how are you feeling, Chris? A little bit confident, a little bit better going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, today started off really well. I mean, we had our fish by 9 o'clock. And then we're able to leave a primary area. I fished with Chad Schweitzer today, and I think he had 11 or 12 pounds too to start the morning. So we both were in a really good spot. And then we ran some water that had fish to keep the bites coming. I didn't know if I could cull, but we stayed really busy in the afternoon catching tons of fish.
So yeah, talking about a co-angler like Chad Schweitzer, he just won Moses Lake. He's very good at cleaning up from the back of the boat, but also he runs the boat a lot of times as well, and he's a pro in the Western Circuit. So was that a little intimidating having a high caliber co-angler in the back, or did you guys work well together?
Yeah, Chad did great. I mean, he had his thoughts on the day, and he was fishing his water and catching them, and the day flowed. It was probably 8 o'clock, and when you're both holding fish at the same time, and you're giggling a little bit and laughing, and the fish were coming quick. So it didn't. We had, I think, the first couple of casts this morning, we had fish going. So we started off fast and furious, but first time I'd fished with Chad, and it was a good day, all the way around. Yeah.
And talking about fast and furious, were you running pretty fast and furious into the backs of dunes, fishing some more main lake stuff? I guess not getting super spot specific, but were you exploring today?
Yeah, we fished a little bit of everything. We fished some of the more exposed main lake, if you will, flats. Anything from 2 to 10 feet, fairly broad actually spectrum on where we got bit today. And then we ran some more what I say pocket water, right? So you've got a hard edge. You're not out in this open expansiveness, but actually an edge. And that's where we started this morning. I caught a 4.5 pounder in practice, which was my best fish in the practice period. And we went back to that same area, and I mean, I didn't know how much was there, right? In practice, you catch one good one, and you kind of take a look, and it looked correct. There were some 3-pounders scooting around too. I said, okay, there's some decent stuff here, and kind of put the eggs in the basket this morning, and the fish came out swinging immediately.
Yeah.
So.
And the cool part is when I was talking to guys yesterday, they said someone's going to catch a 20+ pound bag today, and then seeing if you guys can keep and maintain a decent caliber bag the next 2 days is going to be the hard part. You did your job. You caught 21 pounds. Now, I mean, are you going to be able to hit that 15 to 18 pound mark the next couple days, or how are you feeling about what you left behind?
Yeah, I think I have enough water to keep getting bites. Sometimes you don't know how big they're going to be. That there could be some threes. Right now, the 3-pounder to me on the lake's kind of a mark. If you have threes going, that's a good fish. Anything above that's kind of cherry. But I have enough water that I didn't even fish today that have threes, the 3 caliber fish, and And so we kind of left some things alone.
Yeah.
From a strategy standpoint, I didn't want to burn another 3 pound or 3.5 today after 9 a.m. So we kind of went into an area that I'd gotten a good bite or two in practice, but it was very fishy.
Yeah.
So we just kind of pounded them. I mean, really all the way till the buzzer today. We stayed with a lot of fish, and Chad stayed really busy, and he culled from, I think, 11 up to 14 pounds in the afternoon. So I think he's in 12th, which is, it's the day you dream of, right? You want to have a really strong day, and then your co-angler also is in contention to make Sunday and be well positioned. But it was a lot of fish, more fish than I expected.
Cool.
Came to the boat today. Yeah.
Awesome. So saving water, finding, different points that have bigger fish like that takes a little bit of time on the water and a little bit of knowledge and understanding. How many years have you been doing this now, and how, I guess, more dialed in are you when you're breaking down a body of water now?
Yeah, so I fished my first professional tournament in 2013 on the Delta. And so I don't know, what is that now? 13 seasons, I guess, of being in the front and fishing pro on the West. And um, I've learned a lot. And now it's about taking what you've learned and trying to get quicker at not doing the wrong things. And studying your maps, putting a plan together, and trying to evaluate, hey, what's in front of me, and where do I think I can hedge my bet towards a successful event. And it's been a good few years. Like it seems like I'm making pretty good decisions. And if I don't have a day that's going real well, try to find a way to salvage it, and then come back that evening, think through it, and then try to retool for the next day and do well.
So 13 seasons as a pro, you've pretty much seen the growth in technology. You've seen guys that win boat after boat, and they're getting a little bit older now. And you see 18 and 20-year-olds that are winning boats now with the live scope and forward-facing sonar.
Yeah.
But do you think, the utilization of technology has shortened the gap of growth that you need to be competitive?
I think there's a lot of ways to catch fish, and I think doing it with forwards, a tool. There are certain things that are definitely fast tracked and available today. It still takes a lot of time and skills to master that.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole other side of this where you have to make decisions, right?
Yeah.
You have to see what's in front of you and decide, do I spend 10% of my day here or my whole day, right? So that decision piece, I think that's more, like 25 to say whatever, our 60-year-old anglers. But as time goes on, hopefully decisions get better. But tech's changed some of this, but there's still a lot of it intact. And out here too, I know we've talked about the West Coast, but we have a lot of these fisheries are really diverse. We have deep water, clear water, we have shallow, we have rivers. It's not everything everywhere. That's been my experience, but it's a big combination.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like everything's evolving, and you continue to learn.
Yeah, and you're learning a lot of these bodies of water at a pretty good rate, especially the Columbia River. You've had a lot of success there, so you're pretty much set up for another Angler of the Year title if you do make the right decisions these next couple tournaments. You did very well at Moses. But yeah, what are some of your, accomplishments at this point over this, I guess, process from 2013 to now?
Um, I don't know. I think just the planning that goes into it, and really the map study. I think, maybe I don't notice it, but I'm traveling with a few guys that are like, man, you spend a lot of time looking at maps. And I said, really? Like, I don't notice it because it's just part of like my process, and I enjoy it. I like looking at it and, analyzing. And I think that's, over time become somewhat maybe second nature.
Yeah.
And, I'm from Oregon, and we have a lot of diversity in what we can do in that part of the state too. Like I have coastal lakes that fish a certain way. I have the valley. I have rivers. So we get a pretty good dose of just being able to grab a lot of different rods throughout the year, finesse, power fishing. Everything in between. So when we get to travel and see these other places, like I feel really comfortable with just about every club that you could grab. And that goes a long ways,
Yeah. And I think that goes a long ways on a lot of different platforms. There's a lot of very successful West Coast fishermen that are kicking butt back east. And one prime example, Brad Smith, he's still living on the West Coast, but His name is nationally known now because he's done real well on a lot of different bodies of water, and this is years and years of, I mean, honestly, making some of the best names in the sport. Brandon Palaniuk out of Idaho. We've got Boomer that fished nationally, and a lot of really high quality components and contenders that are actually fishing in this tournament.
They are. They're here too.
Yeah, how do you feel this competition is for the Northwest? Is it a pretty stiff field that we have, or do you think we're missing out on a few names that should be signed up?
Oh, there's always a few folks that are really good everywhere we go. That would be so dangerous if they were here. So, part of us are thankful they don't show up, but it'd be great to have everybody participate. These weeks are really special as far as just the learning that takes place. I can't go do an event without learning something. It could be a new technique. It could be something that the fish have done to evolve. And that part keeps it very engaging. Versus, hey, I'm going to go here and I'm going to throw a brown jig, for the next 10 years straight. Like, it's always a little bit of an adjustment. So it's very cool. And Potholes is my second time on Potholes, second tournament here ever. And I learned quite a bit last year. And when I came back here this year, I felt a little more comfortable. Still took time to break this place down. This is a very challenging place to figure out where the migration is taking place because of the fluctuation of water and how the fish are shifting. It can eat you up. So I feel a little bit more in place this year. And, I luckily got one good bite in practice, that 4+ that really just made me go, I think I have something here. And I didn't know how long I was going to stay in that area of the lake today. I really didn't know. I had a backup plan where, I was going to maybe be there an hour and then I was going to run and pivot and start bouncing around. And when you start off with a 4 and a 3.5, and then half hour later, 6, all those little voices in your head kind of go away. And you say, it's 7:30 right now, and I've got 3 really good fish. I need 2 bites the rest of the day. So I got comfy. And we stayed in a zone and made it work. So that's kind of how today unfolded. But I was very prepared to leave too. So
can being comfortable get dangerous to a point too, where you almost overestimate what you have and then make the wrong decisions and hurt you more than help you?
You can camp too long. You need to know what's left. And since I don't have a ton of experience here, you don't know how many are actually here. Does this will it hold enough fish in an area to lean and stay? Or once you catch 3 big ones, you need to keep moving. And so those are things I don't know, but I'm trying to make the best decision I can kind of in the moment. And just kind of keep the bites coming, because there's other places I could run to get bites and have opportunities at maybe 3 to 3.5 pound fish on the upper side. And it's kind of like a risk, hey, I might not take this time, but this lake's not huge. So if you want to run creek to creek, let's do it, so you feel like you can take your equipment and move the boat pretty fast if you need to.
So talking about decisions and keeping moving, how can you keep moving as an angler? I mean, we've got scholastic students that are taking advantage of their $100 to be a co. We've got co's that are moving up to pros after a couple of years. And then we've got pros that, they're stepping into the Super 60. They're getting comfortable on their bodies of water. How do you keep moving forward? And if it is someone that's just starting, what's the best advice you can give them?
Yeah, there's so many different ways to approach this. I think if you're, you're passionate about fishing and you want to learn a lot more and you want to do it very quickly, signing up for a year as a co-angler, doing just one full season, you will learn so much about the processes that take place. You're going to draw some of the best anglers on the West Coast, and each one of them, there'll be little nuggets that you'll notice that you can take back and apply. But, even if you fish tournaments for, 10, 20, 30 years and you haven't fished one of these, full weeks, bring the boat, fish on the pro side. That's great. A great experience too. But if you haven't, do a year as a co and build the blocks and then hop in and keep going. But the time to put a couple days in and then and compete and hopefully fish for 3 days is, it's full circle. It's very cool.
Awesome. So we do need our tackle warehouse tip of the week. We know you
Yeah.
have a couple different baits and stuff that you're doing, a couple different places, but just tell us one bait. It doesn't have to be your best bait, but at least one thing you were doing today, how you were doing it, and how someone can excel at learning that technique.
Yeah, I mean, so it's June, right? And there's fish that are in all stages right now, and this applies really kind of everywhere we go. And there are shallow fish, and I mean, you really can't go wrong with a wacky Cinco. Like, I mean, we caught a ton of fish on a wacky Cinco today. Um, it didn't seem to matter what size or color, 5 inch, 6 inch, black, June bug, um, watermelon red, none of that mattered. We wacky rigged, and then we also did just like a Texas rig too. You don't see a traditional Texas rig in a Cinco as much as we used to, but out here it kind of slithers through the grass really nicely, and there's a lot of vegetation out here. So getting a long cast away from the boat. We had no wind today. It was very warm, and in the afternoon the fish kind of went bananas. Like they were swimming around everywhere like an aquarium, and if you got a bait in front of them, they were running over and eating it. It was actually it was a treat today to watch the visual side of what can take place underneath the water. But the Cinco was just very powerful. That's a great bait year round, but in my opinion, it really, really shines kind of in that spawn, post spawn, when you have shallow fish on flats. Like shallow fish on flats, a Cinco is just going to be a good way to catch them. You're going to catch a 10-incher, and you're going to catch a great big one too. It's all about placement, but
Awesome.
everything will eat that.
Cool. And talk a little bit about, you've got the St. Croix rods on. Talk a little bit about sensitive rods, why you choose St. Croix, and any other sponsors that I guess developed you to where you're at now.
Yeah, so St. Croix was a company that I got introduced to when I first started tournament fishing when I was like 18, and I liked their product. I thought they made a good product, and I did some shows and seminars for them, and in return, it was getting onto their team as the pro staff and being able to buy some rods, which is great. I love their product to begin with, and I'm running their Legend tournament line, which is all these blue rods and the spinning and casting, and it's a pretty darn well rounded out series, and they're light and they keep getting a little bit better every year, which is pretty cool. New components. That company is very much about R&D, and they put something out. It's usually done pretty well. So yeah, they've been a good partner, and yeah, the rods, the deck's full of blue rods. So
cool. And how many rods are on your deck going into tomorrow? Are you got narrowed down a little bit, or?
You know what? I'm gonna add one.
Okay.
I had an idea coming in today. I'm like, I need to add this one rod. I can't tell you what it is right now. I'll talk about it later. And then I'll probably I might have 4 aside. I might have 8 sticks out tomorrow morning. I could pare it down to probably 6 rods, 3 aside, which that's how I like to fish. If I can show up Derby day and have 3 on each side, I'm not tripping over stuff, and I'm you know what you're going with. But there are some sneaky things this time of year where you're like, you literally have a rod for a couple specific casts where you have this vegetation. I'm going to slide something in there that does this, and maybe it glides back or a little heavier weight. So you can have little modifications. But I'll probably have 7 or 8 out tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you're as intrigued as I am to know how he uses those techniques, where he's using them, then that's your sign. You need to sign up as a co-angler. Come on out to the Columbia River. He's won a lot of money there, and there's a pretty good chance, hopefully 1 in 80, because we want more boats coming out, but you can get drawn with some of these great pros. He's well on his way to taking home a Vexus AVX 1880 powered by a Mercury 115 Pro XS, and that boat could be for sale if he wins it or whoever wins it. Hopefully we'll be talking with Chris one more time tomorrow to keep diving deeper into these different techniques, but he's got to get up early. We're starting at 5 a.m. and sun is up at 3:30, so it gets bright early. The fish start biting early, but they bite all day long, and that's why you need to come out to Mardon Resort for weigh-in at 2:15. Again, it's cut day tomorrow, so we're cutting the field down to 10 anglers on each side. We're crowning a Scholastic Series champion, so you heard from our first place leader there too, and we know that he's got a real shot at taking home something special. And thank you all for tuning in. Subscribe, see what we're doing more often. We do these at every event, and it's a lot of great insight and great info being shared every time. So this is the BAM Vexus Mercury Pro-Am Series presented by Tackle Warehouse in Grant County, Washington, and we're here at Mardon Resort for 2 more days, and we hope to see you here too.